Anti-intellectualism is going to be the scourge of our society. With the rise of AI, cancel culture, and brain rot content, it's become apparent to me that people in our society, especially users on the internet, lack the ability to critically think for themselves and properly fact-check media that they consume. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect either. I am arguably one of the most gullible people on the planet. I once had a friend gaslight me into believing that he got accepted into Oxford, like the university, and that he didn't go because he just didn't feel like it. It's not that I necessarily believe everything that I see on the internet, because God knows I don't, but my gullible nature actually makes me more inclined to research and look up more information on a topic that I've just seen or learned about, to really make sure whether the video that I just watched or article I just read was accurate, exaggerated, or a complete and total lie. I'm not calling myself a true intellectual, but I am definitely moving in a better direction than people who rely on AI or ChatGPT to interpret media for them. Today I'm going to research what it means and what it takes to become a true intellectual, to try to hone in my own inner intellect. Intellectualism is defined as the ability to think about and discuss subjects in an intelligent way. An intellectual is someone who is relatively educated and interested in exploring ideas at a higher level. I use Cambridge Dictionary because fuck Google AI overview. It goes unsaid that intelligence is purely subjective. I mean, I'm technically a college dropout, but that doesn't necessarily make me dumb. At least, I think I'm not dumb. Well, I've definitely had my moments, but with the entire world at the palm of my hands and at my desk at all times, knowledge is way too accessible for anyone really to remain ignorant in this day and age, especially me. As an immigrant trans brown man, it is a duty to myself and to my community to stay informed so I can stand up for myself and my community where it matters. In this video, I'm going to showcase the different ways that I practice intellectualism for myself as an unemployed college dropout 23-year-old, and hopefully it will inspire some of you to, for a lack of better words, stop being bums. I found a Reddit thread literally called "I want to learn how to become an intellectual," something along those lines, and I read through what people have answered and created a list of the different things that I'm going to do today in this video. Before I do any of that though, it's important to dress the part. Do I look more like an intellectual now? I love thinking and creating and reading and just being an intellectual with intellectual thoughts and so much intellect. Now, obviously this is a bit of an exaggeration, but intellectualism doesn't mean that anyone is better than anyone else. Let's get that out of the way. For me personally, I see intellectualism as a personal endeavor in order to heighten your ability to understand the world around you better and also understand people. Being an intellectual, or at least pretending to be one, or at least practicing intellectualism like how a true intellectual would, will make it so much easier to be sociable with other people, to socialize within your communities, to socialize when you step outside, to go to the grocery store. It will open up the empathy in your heart, which is a lot of what we lack today as a society, as you might have noticed. But now that we are dressed the part, we're ready to begin showcasing how I practice intellectualism in this day and age. So this is the Reddit thread that I was talking about earlier. It's literally called "I want to learn how to become an intellectual." Pretty straight up, pretty straightforward. Shout out The Very Mask from 12 years ago. They uploaded this pretty detailed. I always choose to record around the time that everybody in my household decides to be as loud as they can possibly be. Who can be the loudest in this household? Anyways, back to what I was saying. The Very Mask uploaded this very detailed kind of, would this be a think piece? Just laying out everything about at least what they believe comes with being an intellectual. I have no idea if this person is like accredited intellectual. I have no idea. I don't know. But they laid out some elements of intelligence: pattern recognition, extrapolation, abstraction, concentration, multi-threading, parsing, recall, hypotheticals. They say creativity is a combination of the first three And the new last one, I don't know why it's put in this. Creativity is a combination of the three, and the new last one put to use. I remember I recorded something like a long time ago. Actually, no. I wrote something about how I don't feel creative enough to do any of this, to be a content creator or whatever. So it's really interesting. Creativity is a combination, like creativity is a part of intellectualism. And sometimes maybe that's why I feel like I'm worthless and useless in this world, because sometimes I really just have slumps where I just don't feel creative. I go like months without creating anything. So like no videos, obviously. This is my first YouTube video in a while, in a few months. Songs, they take forever for me because I'm a perfectionist and I just don't like some of the stuff that I make. I don't know, like sometimes I make something and I'm like, it's okay, but it could be better, and then it discourages me because I don't know how to make it better and I don't take the time to learn how to make it better. So hopefully after making this video, I can even inspire myself to just shut up and learn. But anyways, they also include like a reading/video watch list, which we're not going to look into in this video because I already have a segment, and I hate to spoil the video, I really do, but I already have a segment in here where I'm going to talk about books that I really enjoyed, what they're about briefly, and what I thought of them and my interpretation of them. What we're really going to focus on, or what I really ended up focusing on, was this last chunk of his, I guess this essay, for lack of better words. I don't even know. This is a huge, I think this is probably like one of the longest Reddit responses I've ever seen, and it's so organized. Like it's so, like they block it off like into different sections. So like the elements, so, like a watch list, a reading list, like okay, and then tips for working on the elements aforementioned in their little article. Creativity is a huge mental workout. Write poetry, compose music, draw, tell stories from memory. Change it up as well. Don't just stick with one thing. Well, as most of you, some of you, I don't know who, most of you know, I make music. I don't make my own instrumentals most of the time. 95% of my music, I got the instrumentals from YouTube and I paid licenses for them. But I write all my lyrics. Isn't that something? I write all my lyrics and I love writing, and I guess that is also kind of combined with poetry, because in a way it is poetry. I mean, like rhythmic writing. Isn't that what poetry is? Let's look up the definition of poetry. Hold on. Oh, poetry definition. Now, screw AI overview. We're gonna make sure that we don't look at AI over. Let's use Merriam-Webster. Metrical writing, right? Rhythmic writing. I was right. Basically, I write music, and so that is a way that I practice intellectualism in my day-to-day. Now, I haven't written a song in a while, but I could maybe show a song that I've written recently. Maybe not one that I'm proud of, but I mean, it'll be better than showcasing nothing. I'll put my headphones on so I can hear. So this is a song that I made. I bought the beat for it a long time ago, or a license for the beat a long time ago, so I don't think it's necessarily illegal for me to be sharing this. However, I have not dropped it on any official platforms because I am very critical of my own work. And so if I don't feel like it's good enough, it's not going out. Like I promise you, it's not going out. But I'm gonna play it because we're trying to showcase different ways that I practice intellectualism, and this is one of them. But this is the one I'm really proud of, but I haven't put up yet for some reason. I don't know. So I'm gonna play it now, and hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
And the pride will be the death of me. All the drinking drowns my sorrows. I'm all alone, can't lean on nobody at all. I need an outlet, pen and paper's not enough. I could smash my whole head in, but how you could still be stuck in a loop in a world full of hurt. Trying to make sense of the world I was born in. But I look into your eyes and I see the night sky, and I wanna try again and again and again. But I don't trust my head, and I have tried there tough pill to swallow, so in these tears I wallow. You hear how the mic clips. I can't find a good place for my lips. I'm too far away from the mic. Then I bring myself closer, but now I'm too loud, and I can't hear a single sound. Then my head wants to make, and it's all your fault. You know you couldn't fix me, blame from the start. I just want to be happy again, but I can't go back to the way my brain chemistry was. Now I'm just singing to fuck around. Wish this breath was my last. I'm not a perfect person, and I never said I was, so slow down. I'll talk in circles all over again. I wish you were here in my life. Try to focus on myself, but instead I keep crying to a mic, as if I don't have any other way. You're no one to talk to when I could try to talk to any of my friends. They won't understand. They won't understand. They won't understand.
So yeah, that was, I don't even know. Fun fact, I actually wrote this like last year, drunk. It was a freestyle. Like I didn't have any of this written down, like I was literally just spitting from my brain. And then I recorded it, and then when I had listened to it back sometime this year, I was like, wait, this is kind of Gas Fire Flames. So I re-recorded it and like actually made it sound nice, and I was sober, so it doesn't sound like I'm slurring my words. Yeah, I mean, intellectualism, right? Like it is important. I mean, art is very important to me. Creating like my music means a lot to me. It's still something that I'm trying to figure out, like where I land, where I fit in when it comes to music, and like trying to find a sound, especially because I don't make my own instrumentals. It's really just a lot of me wanting to get my words out there, and how I put a lot of how I'm feeling into my lyrics. I'll show you guys this one more. This one's produced by Sick Boy. I'll link him in the bio down below so he can get credit for this crazy instrumental. I mean, this is something that I've been considering maybe dropping soon. People have been asking me to drop it, like people that I've shown, my friends. Still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to, but I'll show you guys this segment, my favorite part of the song.
It's hard to imagine a better life. You tell me that I'm worse off, and it's a hard song to write, but that's just how our life goes.
Now, the reasoning as to why I have not uploaded this one, I honestly couldn't tell you guys. Like, honestly, I don't know. Like, I'm just really bad at being proud of anything that I make. But maybe if I kind of just share little tidbits, I don't know, maybe I'll feel more inclined to. Maybe, you know, I don't know anything. And that's why I'm trying to learn to become an intellectual, so that I can know everything. Anyways, moving on. So that is the way that I practice creativity. My singing, my music, my songwriting. That's how I practice creativity. Now we're gonna try this one. Recombinative. Oh my gosh. I'm illiterate. What? What? We're gonna learn how to pronounce it. Now, see, this is why I always do this. Recombination. Recombinative. Okay, there we go. Recombinative. But it doesn't even seem like this is a real word. The actual correct word would be recombination. That would be the proper word. I mean, maybe recombinative is a word, but it seems like recombinant and recombinant. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. Comment down below if I'm saying it correctly. We're gonna do these. We're gonna do this. This one's gonna be fun. We're gonna use our notepad. Okay, let's think of 2 things that are not similar to each other at all in any sense of the word. Okay, let's do books and deodorant. Books and deodorant. 2 things that have no correlation to each other. How can we make them correlate? This is me wanting to become an intellectual, and it's gonna put my brain to work. So let's start off by listing off the different traits of the 2 different things, and then we'll see where there is overlap. So books, you read them. Okay, that's one thing. You might feel like mentally refreshed. You learn. It's entertaining. You know, when you get really into a book, it's like really entertaining. You're like reading it and you turn the page and you're like, oh my god, no way Bella chose Edward. What? I thought she was gonna choose Jacob, you know? Shout out Twilight. They're made out of paper. Let's come up with one more. They smell good when they're new. Now, I can already see some overlap here. Now, deodorant smells good. Whoa, there's correlation. You can read the what is it? The nutrition facts? Drug facts. I'm looking at my deodorant right now. You can read the drug facts on the back, which is you can read books and you read the drug facts on the back and you learn what's in the deodorant and like where it's from. Oh my god. And you feel refreshed. You feel refreshed after putting on deodorant. Boom! We just correlated 2 things that from the surface wouldn't look like they have anything in common. But really, realistically, they do have things in common. So think about that the next time you think 2 things don't correlate with each other, because I think that's important. The very mask says it's important. It's like a brain teaser, a brain exercise to kind of get you thinking about things in an intellectual way, in a, what's the word I'm looking for? In an abstract way. Abstract wasn't the word that I was looking for, but it's good enough for what I'm trying to say. There's another word that I'm trying to think of. Orthological? Is that what I'm thinking? Yes. No. Orodoxical? Orodox. No. What the hell is Orodox? Wait, what's Orodox used for? To treat various types of bacterial infections. Okay. I just learned something new. What is the orthodox? Orthodox. Yes, that's what that was the word I was looking for in a non-orthodox way, relating to tradition. It's not traditional to think of 2 things that have no correlation to each other. You know, it really takes you out of the box. That's intellectualism right there. The last thing that I'm gonna do, which I'm actually gonna do on my regular camera, we're gonna switch right now, 3, 2, 1. I will say that reading is very big for me. People who were kids like me back in like the 2010s, we read a lot. I mean, I read like Percy Jackson, The Hunger Games. That was huge. Like The Hunger Games was like a huge book to read at the time. And I mean, partly why I am as woke as I am today. I mean, if you really think about it, I kind of fell out of reading ever since, you know, growing up and having to read books for high school. It kind of lost its flavor, but now that I literally have nothing to do ever, reading has been so enriching for my mind, super nourishing, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to be talking about 3 books that I have read. The third one is going to be the one that I'm currently reading, but the first 2 are going to be 2 that I really, really enjoyed. Going to be talking about them just ever so briefly. It's not going to be long, okay? I know I might be boring your ears off, but this is how intellectualism is. We like to talk about things that inspire us, things that make us think. First book we're gonna start with is Crime and Freaking Punishment. I loved Crime and Punishment so much. I annotated the hell out of this book. I even wrote down on a ledger, like notes and stuff, so I could keep up because it is a little bit of a difficult read. It is translated from Russian, and the language is really outdated, or not outdated, but the language is dated. That's what I was looking for. So it can be a little hard to keep up with. So I had to keep note of what was happening in the book on a ledger so I could keep up with the plot, while also kind of reading in between the lines and interpreting what message this book was trying to spread. I mean, it's literally called Crime and Punishment. The plot itself and the characters, you really get to see the humanity in the perpetrator of the crime, Raskolnikov, but you also don't really feel bad for him. You might feel some pity for him because of his circumstances, his financial circumstances. There are ways that you can feel pity, not even sympathy, just pity. It talks a lot about desolation and the things that people might feel inclined to do, including murder, out of desperation. And you kind of follow him on this journey of guilt and shame for what he did, while also not really feeling bad because, I mean, he low-key needed it. It is very interesting how it talks about desolation, desperation. It partly critiques, I mean, from how I interpret it, it partly critiques Russian society back then. And so, I don't know, I really recommend it. It's really good. Aside from the deeper meanings of class, society, the wealthy versus the poor. Despite all of that critique, the plot itself is really good. It kept me on the edge of my seat because you're literally being edged. This dude almost got caught like so many times. There were so many times he should have been caught, but he just wasn't. So if you are interested in like crime, but also kind of a socio-political critique, a cat and mouse type of book, this is really good. It's a bit of a harder read, but if you really just sit down and lock in, I recommend writing out what's happening in your own words, because that's what I did, to help you swallow it better so that you can understand what's going on. But it's really good. My second book that I've really enjoyed is The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall, and it's a queer book. It's a book about lesbianism. It's a book about lesbians. This is awesome! And it was written, so this is copyrighted in 1928. This book was highly censored for very obvious reasons because it is about a lesbian woman. The way that this book spoke to me, and it's not even just about how relatable it is, there's something bittersweet about reading about the struggle of being queer from the perspective of someone in the 20s, when that shit was just never talked about. Like, it was just never talked about ever. But it's really, really good, and it's super profound about the queer, specifically lesbian experience. And it touches a lot on like women love women, heartbreak, identity. Like, that's a huge thing for me, having personally gone through my own identity crises and still ongoing identity crisis. And the plot of it too is just like, oh my god, like what's gonna happen? Another desperation book, desperation to fit in, desperation to be understood in a time when that kind of thing, this kind of thing, wasn't understood. And it really speaks to me. So The Well of Loneliness by Radcliffe Hall. Please read it. It's really good. Now, for the third and final book that I would like to talk about today, it is the one that I'm currently reading. It's called The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin. Okay, Queen. It is a political commentary, loosely sci-fi based. I mean, there are sci-fi elements to it, but it's not really focused on the sci-fi elements. This is just straight up like a political commentary. Two different worlds, Eurus and Anares. One of them being an anarchist society, that would be Anares, and Eurus being a capitalist society. And it critiques both. It's not like an anti-capitalist or anti-socialism propaganda piece. In my opinion, something that I do find interesting in this book, and the way that I'm interpreting this book, the main character, Shevek, he is from Anares, the anarchist socialist society, and he gets invited onto Eurus, the capitalist society, to study there and to teach there as a professor. The nature of his work lines up with a lot of Eurus values, so like the capitalistic societies, and he kind of just finds himself in a little bit of a muck. He's like kind of in the middle, and he's trying to feel out where he really fits in. I haven't finished it yet, but it is really good in that regard, and I would recommend it. It is good so far, and if you're looking for something politically heavy, this is good. I've seen some mixed reviews about this book. Some people don't like how preachy it is. Some people find it interesting. I find it interesting in the sense that I feel like I can relate to the main character a lot. Finding your identity when you feel isolated, you feel kind of exiled from the community that you're from already as is, but you also don't feel like you can fully fit in with the other society, because he doesn't feel like he can fit in either fully, and it's up to him to kind of figure out how to mesh those two together. If you are looking for something, I think I found this at Barnes & Noble in the banned book section, which it doesn't even like necessarily praise one society over the other. It's just kind of a recognition of how these types of societies work, their pros and their cons objectively. So those are the 3 books, and that ends my video. If you enjoyed this video, and if you want to become an intellectual like me, get yourself a white dress shirt and some reading glasses, or if you already wear glasses and you're already one step ahead of me, and become an intellectual with me. Comment down below if you want to become an intellectual with me, like the video if you want to become an intellectual, and subscribe if you would like to join my journey in intellectualism.